Hello everyone, today we're going to learn how to declare an array of records in Python. Now you'll see we have an Excel spreadsheet here with a lot of data, and here is what the data means. It's a table all about or detailing the sales every day for all the sales people of a company, and each entry in here is given a sales number, the date of sales, the name of the person making the sales, whether they are permanent or not, their unit sales price of the item that they sold, and how many items they actually sold. So what we have to do is take that data and store it into an array of records in Python so that we can write a program or programs to display certain aspects of the data. Now what you see in front of you here is the actual Python code for declaring a record, to start off with, of the data in that Excel spreadsheet. Now this Excel spreadsheet will be converted to a text file, and we will eventually read from the text file into our array of records. But in the meantime, we need to declare our record and then declare the array of the record. So in order to do that in Python, you use this format from data class, import data class, a little comment there, and then we have the word class, and you decide what you're going to call that class or record. That is how Python declares a record. You decide what name it is. I've called the sales. I've used the word sales here, and then you write down the names of all the different categories describing your record and coinciding with the items that will be in the text file, like the sales number, the date of sales. So let's have a look at our sales number. If I look at the Python code, I've declared it as a string data type, sales NO string, because I'm not going to do any calculations with that sales number or add it up. I'm just going to refer to them as strings. Then date of sales, I'm going to safely keep the date of sales as a string as well, because of the fact that it's the same format right through. So date of sales will be a string data type. The name of the salesperson obviously would be a string data type. The permanent description of the salesperson is either a yes or a no, so I'm going to keep that as a string data type as well. And then the unit sales price, which will be a decimal point. As you can see, there are decimal points there, so they are going to be declared as a float data type. Then the last item in our list would be the quantity sold, and that is an integer right through, so we will declare that as an integer data type. We need to double check our data to make sure that we are using the right data types for our record. And bearing in mind that Excel spreadsheet will be in a text file, like I told you, in a comma separated format. We will then declare an array of records, specifically our sales record. So you can give it any name that you want. I've called it ARR sales. You can call it anything you want, as long as it is just of a good description and recognizable as to what it means. And in square brackets you declare that you want this array to be an array of sales records in this manner, and then you have to initialize in the round brackets each item of that record, each record. So the first item is a string, so it's an empty string. The sales number comes first, then you have the date of sales, which is a string data type, so you have an empty string. The name is the third item, so you make that an empty string initially. Permanent or not, which will be yes or no, which will be a string data type. You initialize that as empty. The unit sales price, which is a decimal point, you can use just a single zero there. And then for the last item, which is quantity, which is an integer data type, then you use a single zero to initialize that. So this part is quite important. You're initializing each index of our array sales, which will be empty to start off with, obviously. And that is the initialization that's taking place. And then you describe, using this for loop statement, how many boxes or indices you would like to have available in RAM for your array. And I've chosen the number 200 because I noticed in the Excel spreadsheet there were 171 rows filled. And that is how you declare an array of records.